In the 28th day of Ramadan, mashallah, I can't believe it. And we have just a few hours left. Ansa Kisha was in our virtual masjid last night, Masjid Rabata, and I think she counted the hours, something like 80, and that was last night. So how many hours are left? Subhanallah, subhanallah. We will miss you, Ramadan. We will miss you. We will miss you. We will miss you, Ramadan. And subhanallah, this year, even more than we expected, I think. Nobody really expected to have such a... I'll just speak about myself. I didn't expect to have such a rich experience with our online masjid, or even coming here to have this Insta Live every day. For me, it's been very enjoyable to talk about the Quran and think about the Quran with you every single day. Alhamdulillah. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Salatu wassalam ala Sayyidina al-Mursaleen walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. MashaAllah, in Singapore, you've already started the 29th, and that's a very special night because it's the Yawm al-Jum'ah, so it's the night of Friday, and Tisa Ashrin, which is also a special, possible Laylatul Qadr. So what a blessing that is. Make dua for us, O people of the future. O people of the future who are in places where it is already Friday, make dua for us who are people of the past who haven't yet become those people. All right, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Salatu wassalam ala khatam al-anbiya Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ashabi ajma'in. So in Juz' 28, we have a number of surahs, and I was thinking earlier today, what is the theme here that we're looking at? What theme are we thinking about? And I think for me, I think that we're thinking here very, very much about Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu. Very direct, very Ya ayyuhal ladina. Okay, oh you who believe. Oh you who believe. Okay? And of course, it begins with the Surah Al-Mujadila, which begins, if you haven't read Dr. Ingrid Mattson's book, The Story of the Quran, I want you to get that book and read that book. It's fantastic. And one of the beautiful things about it is she begins her book right here with this verse. And she's really addressing the directness and the interrelationship of the Quran and the people of Medina. And she's showing how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has heard the voice of a woman. So, قد سمع الله قول التي تجادلك في زوجها وتشتكي إلى الله والله يسمع تحاوركما إن الله سميع بصير. So, without going into this is a little bit more complicated tafsir with quite a bit of story behind it. I just want to say Surah Al-Mujadila, first verse. Allah has heard the voice of a woman. And I'm going to send you to Dr. Mattson's book, The Story of the Quran, to follow that and to follow the path of that and the path of the importance of the Quran in our lives. And for us, let's continue here and go to the next page or the next few verses. And I'm going to just go straight to verse 9. And I don't have my... Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. Sorry, I'm just going to open up the English. I like to have that open so that I can... There we go. So that we can not make mistakes in translation, especially with the Quran. All right. Here we go. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. Okay. إذا تناجيتم فلا تتناجوا بالإثم والعدوان ومعصية الرسول وتناجوا بالبر والتقوى واتقوا الله الذي إليه تحشرون. These, what you're going to hear today, I feel like are things that we don't emphasize enough. We don't talk about them very much. And so it's almost like when I was reviewing and thinking about this and coming here to this today with you, I was really thinking how I feel like this is the first time I hear these verses. How many times have I read them and worked on them? But I felt like today, subhanAllah, is the first time I heard some of them. And so like this one, for example, oh, you who believe. when you converse, when you talk to each other, don't talk about sin and aggression and disobedience to the messenger, but talk about righteousness and piety. Ya Allah, this just went into my heart today. And how many times have you've been feeling fine, and then all of a sudden you get in some dumb conversation on Facebook or anywhere, and it all of a sudden your own state of being collapses. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي إِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ, and fear God, have taqwa, so the one to whom we will be gathered. So as we go forward and we start to think about what's going to happen after Ramadan, I think this section is going to teach us how to act and how to live. And one way is to remember this verse. When we are talking, don't talk about sin. If other people are talking about sin and joking about it, excuse yourselves. Don't mock people. Don't talk as though sin is a cool and fine thing. Instead, it's so clear. What does it say instead? وَتَنَاجَوْا بِالْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Speak about righteousness and piety and goodness. Talk about what is good and wonderful and beautiful. Verse 11. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا قِيلَ لَكُمْ تَفَسَّحُوا فِي الْمَجَالِسِ فَافْسَحُوا. I love this. This is Surah Al-Mujadila. This is verse 11. I just love the way these sound in my ear. Oh, you who believe. Again, we're learning. What do we need to learn? If you are told, تفسحوا في المجالس, يعني make space in the place. فافسحوا. I love it. So do it. يفسح الله لكم, and Allah will make space for you. Subhanallah. Think about that. Think about all of the social justice issues that we're dealing with now. So much of them are, we're telling people, make space. Make space. And how much then do we need to think about that? Do we need to make space in the masjid? Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Have we learned our lesson from COVID-19 and the importance of opening our masajid to women and to people that are differently abled? Have we learned that lesson or not yet? But I love this. And I think we pass over it. قِيلَ لَكُمْ تَفَسَّحُوا فِي الْمَجَالِسِ. Okay, so it's told to you, spread out, give space. فَافْسَحُوا يَفْسَحِ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. So make space and God will make space for you. Let's take this as a rule going forth. If we hear make space, let's make space and know that God will make space for us. Don't try to monopolize all the space. Not literally and not figuratively. And then if we continue verse 12, the one right after it actually. Listen to this one. This one, I actually was like, I was like, wow. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Ay wallah, I didn't even think of that. Physical distancing in the Quran. If you're told to make space, make space. We've been told to social distance, make space. SubhanAllah. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Idha najaytum ar-rasul. فَقَدِّمُوا بَيْنَ يَدَيْ نَجْوَاكُمْ صَدَقَةً. Whoa. ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَأَطْهَرٌ فَإِن لَمْ تَجِدُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. O you who believe, when you wish private consultation, najaytum, to talk with the Prophet ﷺ, give sadaqah first. Where does sadaqah? How beautiful is that? All of the sadaqah you've given this month, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you with a private consultation with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if you haven't, then make that, you have 2 days. Go, even if you've already given. Give your sadaqah now, between now and Eid, with the intention of a private consultation with Rasulullah. And inshallah it will come to you in your dream. Inshallah it will come to you in your dream. If not in your dream, inshallah in Jannah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا ناجيتم الرسول فَقَدِّمُوا بَيْنِ يَدَيْ نَجْوَاكُمْ صَدَقَةً. Even if it's just a little. I know many of you have spent, and I'm with you. Many of us have spent so much of what we expected to spend this month. Even if it's $5, $10. Do it with the intention that you want a private meeting with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And maybe Allah will answer you with a dream. Maybe Allah will answer you sending you to Medina. Maybe Allah will answer you in Jannah. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of His generosity always. فَإِن لَمْ تَجِدُوا, if you really don't have anything to give in sadaqah, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ, then Allah is forgiving and merciful. But how much do we need to really do that? We need to give that sadaqah. And now this time though, make your intention. Make your intention that this is what that's for. You know? Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. What else? Then we go to verse 19. We learn a new lesson. Also, how do we act outside of Ramadan? We learn something here. Verse 19. استحوذ عليهم الشيطان فأنساهم ذكر الله أولئك حزب الشيطان ألا إن حزب الشيطان هم الخاسرون. Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Satan, this is what we don't want to be. Okay, now listen, everyone. Shaitan is coming out after an Eid. Okay? You're going to be tempted to fight. You're going to be tempted to lose your patience. You're going to be tempted to yell. You're going to be tempted to do haram things. You're going to be tempted to forget all of the blessings of Ramadan. Don't do it. Listen to this verse. Satan has overcome them and made them forget the remembrance of God. فَأَنْسَاهُمْ ذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أُولَٰئِكَ حِزْبُ الشَّيْطَانِ, those are the party of shaitan. أَلَا إِنَّ حِزْبَ الشَّيْطَانِ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ, they are the losers. The party of shaitan are the losers. And we want to be of the winners. So be careful as we go forth. Okay, and we remember these things. Be careful as we go forth that as we go forth, we do not become of the party of shaitan. Let's go now to the next surah. Surah Al-Hashr. Noticing how they're beginning. Are these surahs are beginning. سَبَّحَ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. Everything in the heavens and the earth praises and glorifies God. I see your question about Satan doesn't have power over our nafs. He doesn't have power over it. We give it to him. It's just like if you are, he has no authority over us. There's no authority. We give it to him. It's like if you're in the park, okay, and you're sitting on a bench. You're sitting there. You're fine. You're happy. You're having a sandwich. It's not Ramadan. And you're just sitting in the park on the bench, and some stranger comes up to you and says, move off the bench. What you going to do? Maybe you're going to be like, oh, I'm polite. I'm going to move. But wait, why? What are you going to think first? Are you going to think? You're going to say, wait, yes, I'm going to move now because it's a good thing. I want to do a good deed. Or are you going to move just because they said so? Or are you going to stay because it's important for you? Like, we have to be people of thinking. People who think. Shaitan doesn't have power over us. We just listen and learn. We don't think. So Shaitan says, when we're waking up in the morning for Fajr, Shaitan says, go back to sleep. And we say, okay. That's not power. That's us. We're giving that power. That's just our silliness, our foolishness. We come to make we come to need wudu. We say, oh, I'm too tired now. Shaitan whispers to us. Our nafs is weak, yes. So we want to strengthen our nafs and strengthen our heart. For more information about that, you can take Rabata classes. I will continue now with this Quran, but there's a lot. We talk a lot about those in our purification classes. There's a whole track of purification classes where you can learn more about that, or Aqidah classes. I talk about it a lot in my Foundations, Flounderings, and Faith class. All right, so here we are. Surah Al-Hashr, سبح لله سماوات الأرض. The beauty of these verses, many of these surahs are starting with this verse, these words, and we talked about this before, but this is reminding us that the whole earth, the whole world is worshiping God. The animals and the trees and the flowers and the air and everything is worshiping God except for the human being. The human being is the only one who sometimes is and sometimes isn't. And when we are made to forget our dhikr, forget the remembrance of Allah, then we become outside of those who are remembering, of those who are سَبَّحَ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And we definitely do not want to be of those who are outside of that. We want to be of those who are within it. And if we go to verse 10, again, we're learning what do we need to be as we go out forward. Now, these verses before, we need a little bit of context maybe, have been talking about Muhajirin and Ansar. And now we say, وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Those who. Also those who. So let's go to the verse before and just make sure that we are. These are فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. So the Muhajirin and the Ansar are muflihun. So now, how to become the people of Falah? Here's another way. الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ. So that's us. Those who came after the Muhajirin and the Ansar. It's really something. In a way, it's sad to come after, but in a way, we are here, so let's do the best with where we are. يقولون, and we came after, and what did we say? رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا. Ya Allah, forgive us, and forgive لِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ, and forgive those who came before us in faith, or those who have preceded us in faith. وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Here's a very important part of this. And do not put in our hearts any resentment or bitterness towards those who have believed. Ya Allah, innaka ra'ufur rahim. You are the kind and the merciful. Are we learning these things? Are we taking note to take them forward? We have to, Ya Rabb, Rabbana aghfir lana dhunubana. وَلِأَخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ. And for those who came before us. And most important, we want to live in the shelter of one another. We will not survive, we will not succeed, we will not carry forth our responsibility as an ummah as long as we are in ugly bitterness towards one another, individually or as groups. So we have to wash our hearts. We have 3 days left to wash our hearts of ghillah. Let's wash our hearts of ghillah and scrub them. Scrub those hearts so we can be of those who are الذين جاءوا ببعدهم يقولون ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا والذين سبقونا بالإيمان. We shouldn't resent them. No, we shouldn't. We want to wash our hearts of bitterness. But the problem is that we do sometimes. And we are saying, وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. To any believer, we don't want to have any drop of bitterness in our heart towards them. And then, verse 18, we continue. And here's another very important thing. Ya Allah, look at all these really important lessons from this section. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. O you who believe, let every have taqwa, and then لتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد. Let everyone plan what they're putting forth for tomorrow. Figure it out. What are we preparing for tomorrow? What are we preparing lil-ghad? That tomorrow is not just tomorrow Friday or Saturday. That tomorrow is it's not just tomorrow 10 years from now. It's the tomorrow of the next life. What are we putting forth? Worship, inshallah, good deeds, goodness. But I mean, it's to live a good life is what we've been called to do. And it's a lot of stress and anxiety to live a life of sin and distance from God. And when we can live that good life, then we are putting things lil ghad. And one of those things is really Islamic learning. So I really want to encourage all of you, start your Islamic learning if you haven't done it before. And that's not just watching videos here and there. Not even this Insta Live. This Insta Live has been fun and I've enjoyed it. But this isn't what it's about. You need to take formal classes with a curriculum that has a beginning. Someone has studied that curriculum. There's a beginning and there's an end. Of course, for me, I'm recommending to you Rabata.org. And for those of you who want to get a degree, like a master's program, or if you're for the men amongst us, the Islamic Seminary of America is a brand new program. It's fantastic. I teach for them, and I also volunteer as on their academic council. It's wonderful. So I recommend that as well. And I've heard wonderful things about Bayan Claremont as well out in California. And for Arabic, there's Fawakih on the East Coast. I can't get my West and East right now. And the fasting. Thank you, Iram. Yes, we have summer program this summer, alhamdulillah. Okay, let's continue. وَلَا تَكُونُوا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, think what we're putting forth, and then continues. وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. And don't be of those who have forgotten Allah, so that He made them forget themselves. I read these verses and I think sometimes about how much people are struggling in this world, how much mental health issues we have, and listen, I know mental health issues are real, and I know that it's an important field, and I know that there's much that we can do, and there's a difference between chemical imbalance and general mental health issues. Okay. And I'm one who sends you to a therapist and sends you to a psychiatrist for help. I have before, and especially Muslim ones and those who really know what they're doing. Khalil Center is great. Dr. Rania is someone I know well. She studied with me a little bit in Sham. She studied with many other people. She's amazing. But we can't ignore this verse. لا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. Don't be of those who forgot God and He made them forget themselves. It is in not knowing ourselves that it becomes really difficult to grow. And of course, our basic self is the self that knows God. And when we don't have that self that knows God and remembers God, that's where we're going to have the most struggle. أولئك هم الفاسقون. They are the defiantly disobedient. Yes, exactly. And even Carl Jung, if we don't want to talk about Muslims, Carl Jung says that he studied, or he researched people, and he found that anyone over 40 who is struggling with this life is someone who has not settled themselves with God. That's not a direct quote, but it's in the meaning of it. Verse 19. And absolutely low self-confidence is a gateway for shaitan. Yes, because we don't, and yes, beautiful, Reem, beautiful, because, and when we know ourselves, we have confidence in ourselves, we're like shaitan, then we're sitting on that bench, right? That's the bench example. If you have self-confidence and you're sitting on a bench and someone comes to you and tells you move, you're going to be like, you move. Or you're going to be like, I'll move over. You're welcome to sit with me, but I'm not ready to get up yet, or whatever. Like, you're going to make an actual decision. And then the next verse is verse 20. لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة. أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون. They are not equal, the companions of fire and the companions of paradise. Indeed, أصحاب الجنة, the people of paradise, هم الفائزون. They are the ones who have won. We want to be of the companions of paradise as we move forward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of them. Okay, so let's continue. I see my time is... There's more about living in the shelter of one another and loving one another. Let's go to... Let's go to verse 9 of Surah Al-Jum'ah, which is a couple surahs next, okay? These are short surahs, so let's go to verse 9 of Surah Al-Jum'ah. Verse 9, yeah, okay. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. I'm in the wrong. There we go. So, oh, you who believe. If you want to be an active member, you can go to our website and you can volunteer. We do have a volunteer form you can fill out there. But also sign up for a class. Sign up for a class, Rabata.org, and that will also help you sort of get started. And there's lots of stuff to do. Join our virtual masjid at night. Join us for ibadah at night. Also, we have some chapters in different places. So if you're in an area where there's a chapter, you could also be part of that chapter. Okay, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu. Listen to this one. Now remember, we're looking at what are we being called on to do in this section for after Ramadan. Oh, you who believe, when the adhan is called for prayer on the day of Jum'ah, Friday, then go to dhikr of Allah and avoid trade. Now I know that right now our mosques are closed. Our mosques are closed. But we still want to pay attention to this. We want to pay attention to this. We want to say, because it says, فَسَعُوا إِلَى ذِكِرِ اللَّهِ. So let's rush to the dhikr of God when the adhan of Friday calls, or you know what, when any adhan calls. And وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعِ, and leave aside trade. So during the Friday prayer time, don't shop. Don't do online shopping. Just notice it. Just say, hey, this is the Friday prayer time. I'm going to be in honor of that. That's 1 hour a week. I am not going to do online shopping. I am not going to do it. And set your alarm so you don't forget. Don't make that your mistake every week. Imagine, no. Avoid trade. Go sit down in your home masjid and do a little i'tikaf every Friday. فَاسْعُوا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Go to the dhikr of Allah, which can be done with song, nasheed, tasbih, Quran reading, anything that helps you remember God. Verse 9 in the next surah. Go right away to the next one, which is Al-Munafiqeen. Verse 9 again. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu la tulhikum amwalikum wa la awladukum an dhikrillah. Listen to this. Oh, you who believe, don't let your money or your children distract you an dhikrillah. Don't let them distract you from the dhikr of God, the remembrance of God. Not business, not work, and not children. Do a good job at work. Do a good job with your kids. No, this isn't Surah Al-Kahf. This is Surah Al-Munafiqun. وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. And who does that, who lets their children or their wealth distract them, they are of the losers. SubhanAllah. May we all take this to heart and be of those who truly remember God. And it continues, وَأَنْفِقُوا, and pay, spend. وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ مِنْ قَبْلِ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ أَحَدُكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. And spend before death approaches you. فيقول, because when death approaches us, we will say, رَبِّ لَوْلَا أَخَّرْتَنِي إِلَىٰ أَجْلٍ قَرِيبٍ فَأَصَدَّقْ وَأَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. We will say when death comes to us, if only give me a little bit of time so I can give in charity and be amongst the righteous. Don't be that person. Give it now. Don't be stingy. Give it now. If you don't have money, give time, give emotion. If you have been giving this month, alhamdulillah. If you haven't, come on, get your hand in that pocket and give. Give anywhere. Anywhere. Of course, every time I come on here at the end, I say, donate to Rabata, become a Rabata monthly donor, and I give the link. But right now, I want to tell you, give anyone and anywhere. Just don't hold on to it. You don't want to reach death, as this verse is telling us. فَيَقُولُ رَبِّ لَوْلَا أَخَّرْتَنِي إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ قَرِيبٍ. If only you gave me some more time. فَأَصَدَّقَ وَأَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Because then I would have given charity. This teaches us the importance of charity. It teaches the importance of generosity and goodness. Make your intention every time. Make your intention when you're giving. Even if let's say you're going out to small businesses now and supporting them, make your intention. Ya Allah, I'm doing this for sadaqah. I'm doing this because sadaqah, by the way, I've been wanting to say this and I had forgotten, and I'm glad I remembered today, and then we'll be done because I'm over time. Sadaqah, charity is a terrible translation for the word sadaqah. It just doesn't work because in English, charity has a negative connotation, doesn't it? And charity is something like, I'm going to give you. It's something from above. No. Sadaqah is something we do with hope that someone will take it. It's like an offering. It's like you're offering and saying, please, will you take this? Please, will you take my money? Please, will you take my things? And we get scared when we find we can't give. Not because of not money, because people won't take. What about the day when somebody won't take it? What about the day that you can't find a place to put your sadaqah? It's not charity. It's an offering. It's an offering with hope in reward from God. That we can be وَأَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Inshallah, yes. Inshallah, yes. Absolutely. Okay. So, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. There's so much left, but we got lots of good lessons from this section today. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. We hope that Allah will accept our sadaqah, and we hope that the people will accept it. It's an offering, like we are blessed to be able to give it. It's not a charity like from above. We're just like, we're so lucky and blessed if we can give money to somebody. That's how we should feel. Ameen. Okay, alhamdulillah. Thank you. And of course, I will close by saying, if you would like to become a monthly donor at Rabata, we are so happy to have your offering and have you join this movement and walk and work together in building the rising tide of Muslim women's leadership and scholarship and community change agents. And inshallah, all together we will work and go forward. Aywallah. Alhamdulillah. So rabata.kindful.com, and I've been asked, a number of you have asked me, I don't know the number of you, but people have been asking me about zakat. We have a policy at Rabata for zakat. If you want to give zakat, we do have a zakat button. That money is direct. We give that's at Kindful though. That's at rabata.kindful.com. And that money would be, it's directly given to people in need. It's not used for programming, the zakat money. But we do use your sadaqah, your offerings, your beautiful offerings for our programming. We are grateful to you for them. What about now in this pandemic time, we only have enough to pay rent and bills? If you only have enough for real to pay rent and bills, then you're not stingy by not giving sadaqah. No. But maybe you can give $1 to someone. Maybe if you see someone hungry, you could invite them over to eat. Maybe you could give them a sandwich from your house. See what I'm saying? Like when we remember that sadaqah is a different attitude than attitude of offering, then we're looking, when can we offer and what can we offer? Maybe we offer our time or our emotion instead, right? But so we want to think about that in new ways with new words. Inshallah. All right. Thank you everyone very much. I'm sorry for going over. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. See you in the virtual masjid tonight. See you tomorrow in the Quran reading. See you tomorrow in Insta Live for just a couple more days of Ramadan. Remember me in your dua. Inshallah, I will remember you all of the attendees of the Insta Live. Assalamu alaikum.